This is just going to mostly be a recap on this project with the 4104, but also some updates at the end. So our buddy Oz came to visit us. He was going to paint my bus for us. So he was coming in his RV. He bought this thing just before the pandemic. He drove it from Florida to Alabama where he lives, and then he spent the whole pandemic time just converting the interior. He gutted it and he painted the outside of it, but never really drove it. He drove it here once for a rally. The bus did not make it up the hill. He was having problems with the air throttle on it. He thought it was just that it wasn't going to full fuel. We were really busy at the rally, so we never really looked into it much. He thought he had it fixed up, brought it back, and the bus would not climb the hill. And I'll go on to the story here in just a second. Okay, here, so yeah, attempt after attempt, he tried to climb the hill and could not do it. We would do some work on it and try to climb the hill, and it would maybe go a little further. And we found the plugged up fuel filters, and I reran the rack on it and adjusted the governor on it, and just it wouldn't climb the hill.
I ain't gonna do it. Go, 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 go!
Here he nearly makes it, and he doesn't want me to get the tractor to pull it up the rest of the way, so he loses some clutch material to just make it that last 15, 20 feet. And yes, every hill climb attempt, it was in first gear, pedal to the floor, full throttle, just wouldn't do it. So as we looked into the engine here, we did some more work on it in the shop once he finally made it up the hill, and he told me, yeah, I think I got some more power in it now. So I told him to try the hill again. Well, that was a mistake because it wouldn't make it all the way up after we did a little bit of work to it. So we had to hook it up to the tractor. I didn't want him to burn through any more of his clutch, so we just hooked the tractor up to it and pulled it up that last little bit. He did not want to be on the tractor. Well, the engine obviously had some problems because there was a split manifold on it, and we could see that 3 cylinders on it were producing, at least one of the 3 or 2 of the 3 cylinders on one side were producing a lot of smoke on startup, and the other side was perfectly clear. So we knew it had some internal engine damage. When he bought this bus, the previous owner had overheated it before he bought it, and they put a new head on it, and then he bought it shortly after that. So it obviously had other damage than just the cracked head that was on it. The cylinders are scored and some other stuff too as we get into it here and tear it down. So as we got into the block here and tearing everything down, got the head off, we could see there were some issues with some cylinders in it. It had broken piston rings, scored pistons, scored liners. One of the cylinders wasn't sealing all the way against the head, so there was some exhaust gases escaping across the top of the head on there. You can see the scores and the liners there. So we rebuilt it, all new pistons, rings, liners. We did the full rebuild on it, and then when we were done, we got into the fuel system that was very contaminated and plugged up. These fuel filters, they're inside a fuel filter, were just gummed up with that same slime that was in there. It just had time to grow. You don't usually see that in the injectors, but we put new injectors in it, and after the rebuild, here's the hill climb.
There's the
like
smile.
a boss.
Plenty of power, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep. That's where it would have fallen on its face before.
Yeah, you can feel the. See here,
Yeah, you better let off.
Like right there, I have to let it completely out. We're going to change the name of the bus.
Yeah.
Rocky.
So we took it on a few test drives after the rebuild. The first one was like a short 5-mile trip just to check things out. And then we did a little over 50-mile highway trip on it and had a few other issues. Nothing with the engine, just they had some bad wheels on it and stuff that we had to get changed around, bad rims. But here's a little clip from his test drive.
Big hill coming up. Well, that explains why it felt weird. It's not just one bent rim, it's two.
Yeah.
It's a shaky ride.
To say the least.
Okay, well, I was just going to head out today. Everything looks good on here. A few people noticed that we were missing a stud here. It had stripped out, so we had to replace it. But I wasn't worried about getting it running without having it. So that's on there now. And we replaced the alternator belt this morning with a brand new alternator belt. The old one was ready to let go. We made some adjustments on this power steering reservoir. We lowered it down. It was so high you couldn't ever fill it. We're going to start it. Turn it left, turn it right, turn it left, turn it right, add fluid without the lid on it, and then see if we get all the air out of the system if that stops it from popping off of there. We checked the fuel filter. There's no goobers hanging out of it, but there was a little bit inside of it that we could see. But we got him a brand new filter to take with him, so he'll be good to go with that. But, it all looks real good.
He broke down before he got very far away. He's less than a mile away. He's pulling out onto the main road off of our road, and the bus was stuck in second gear. He couldn't get out of second to go into third. So he pulled off, and I went over there and helped him. And he had a little trouble getting it into reverse this morning, and it's probably when the issue occurred. To put it into reverse, you have to put it into first, and then you push this solenoid, this lever moves, and then you go into second gear. And maybe he didn't push it right, or it wasn't held down long enough, and it kind of jammed in between there or something. But something got wedged in there, and it wasn't coming out of second gear. I'm assuming that that's when the issue happened. But I just kind of jiggled that lever around while he went from first gear, second gear, tried to go to first to second, and it finally popped back in and into neutral, and then he could go and grab first and second. So he had no issues with that again after that. Like I said, it was just a 10-minute breakdown, and then he made it all the way home. The rest of his trip was completely flawless. He's all the way from Nashville, Tennessee to Montgomery, Alabama. There's a lot of hills on I-65 South there. He never had to downshift once. That's how much power he has now on the bus. He's very happy with it. So here he sent me a little video of the back of the bus after he got home. So this is about getting close to 300 miles on the engine rebuild, and there's no oil flipped up on the back of the bus, just a tiny little bit of soot on there. So he's very happy about that. The engine is perfectly clean, and after being parked there for over 48 hours, not one single oil drip underneath the Detroit diesel, and the engine oil is full. Remember, Oz didn't come here for engine work. He just came here to help us and paint our bus for us, and it looks so pretty. He did so much hard work for us. There was no way, that my friend who came to do all that work for me, and he needed engine work, that we were going to be able to charge him anything to do that. So he just bought the materials for it, and then we took care of everything else.
See that white smoke rising up the holler through the trees, and from a mile away you can hear them play as they climb that hill with ease. But at the top of that mountain there's a new life waiting for those who can make the run. If they can make it to the top, Scott will put them in the shop till their new life has begun. Mountain, where the buses come to run. Bus Grease Mountain, we're gonna get that big job done.